a strict macrobiotic. And I wrote one of Kushi's books for him, called The Macrobiotic Way. We had John Denver do the front. He was a macro at that point. So I was steeped in it, understood Asian medicine now. Why the macrobiotic diet? Well, let me give you a history of it. It was brought to this country by a guy called George Osawa in the 1920s. George Osawa brought it out of Buddhist philosophy. It was a spiritualistic Buddhist philosophy, and as all religion, including Judeo-Christian theology, has food parts of it, expounded on and took it out and talked about fasting and being conscious with food. He went over to France to live. I go to his place and when I'm in Paris sometimes. He's dead. His place is there. Kushi was at, I think, Cornell after this Second World War in the 1940s. Now, nobody wanted to do anything or hear anything Japanese after the Second World War. So Kushi was personally interested in all of this, but realized you couldn't give any spiritualistic Buddhist stuff to Americans. So he just completely extracted the dietary end of it and expounded upon that. And by the way, has helped an awful lot of people. Now, how it works, quite simply, is what it takes away from you, not what it gives you. Why it worked for me is it finally got me off the dairy food. Now, as much as I loved meat the day I gave it up in one day. But the dairy, with those hormones and the sugar that is in the dairy, it was just a major addiction. I find myself in the closet, eating a gallon of ice cream every 3 months, and hiding and saying it was just a heavy addiction. So Kushi, because it's very anal, it's piss to the right, piss to the left, you're yin, you're yang, you're schmink to the shang. The whole day you're like, so I was robotic, and you had to keep like this. So it got me off the dairy food. It gave me the religion, and I had the religion. So that was it. Now, short-term successes, long-term failures. That's what we see with that. For the first year, I felt like a Superman. By the 13th month, I started to feel the weakness. You cannot be on an orthodox diet that has all cooked food. There are 4 elements within the raw food that heals you and keeps you young. None of us age like the rest of the population who live this way. I'm 60 years old, and I'm young compared to 90-year-old people I know who are similar to what I am. There's hormones, oxygen, phytochemicals, and enzymes. Again, I'll repeat it. Hormones, this is in my book Life Force back there. If you want to get the most current book, this is it. Hormones, oxygen, phytochemicals, and enzymes. This is what's in the raw food that prevents premature aging. The phytochemicals, by the way, heal the disease, prevent the disease. Once you cook a food, it's gone. When I was an orthodox macrobiotic, 60% of my diet was cooked grain. I was like walking around fermented all the time. You can't digest cooked grain. But is it a hell of a lot better than the American diet I used to be on? God bless Michio Kushi. God bless macrobiotics and thank them for what they're doing. But again, people like it easier because you can go to some Chinese restaurant and eat Chinese food and think it's healthy, but it's not.
And also, Doctor,